The question of whether or not extraterrestrials have visited our planet has now risen all the way to the White House. Seriously, President Obama is officially and now on the record in denial about UFOs and their alien pilots. As anyone with a copy of the internet can tell you, there have been any number of UFO sightings in this country over the years, and some notable crashes inside our borders, most famously in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. So the White House on its website has a section called We the People, where citizens can petition the administration online and get a response if they pull together enough signatures. One recent petition at whitehouse.gov read, "Immediately disclose the government's knowledge of and communications with extraterrestrial beings." That one had more than 5,000 signatures. Another petition, this one with 12,000 signatories, reads, "Formally acknowledge an extraterrestrial presence engaging the human race." The White House responded. Phil Larson, the Office of Science and Technology Policy, wrote in part, "Thank you for signing the petition asking the Obama administration to acknowledge an extraterrestrial presence here on Earth. The U.S. government has no evidence that any life exists outside our planet or that an extraterrestrial presence has contacted or engaged any member of the human race. In addition, there's no credible information to suggest that any evidence is being hidden from the public eye. However, that doesn't mean the subject of life outside our planet is not being discussed."
Well, Ryan, I take your question seriously, not simply because of the topic, but also because if you're calling from Seattle and it's a little after 7 here, it's a little after 4 in the morning there. Look, I have not been briefed on whether or not there are the existence of UFOs. I haven't talked to the president about this topic. I know that the president is deeply concerned about ensuring that we have transparency in government and the American people have faith in what its government is trying to do. We'll hear from Seattle.
The 3 astronauts of Apollo 11 who went to the moon back in 1969 all said that they believe there is life beyond Earth. Do you agree?
You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. And I don't presume to know. What I know is there's life here on Earth. And that we're not attending to life here on Earth. We're not taking care of kids who are alive and unfortunately are not getting health care. We're not taking care of senior citizens who are alive and are seeing their heating prices go up. So as president, those are the people I will be attending to first. There may be some other folks on their way. Some other folks on their way. There may be some other folks on their way.
I got a letter from 13-year-old Ryan from Belfast. Now, Ryan, if you're out in the crowd tonight, here's the answer to your question. No. As far as I know, an alien spacecraft did not crash in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. And Ryan, if the United States Air Force did recover alien bodies, they didn't tell me about it either, and I want to know.
But NORAD is a super secretive agency, and efforts to discover what it does with the survey's reports are often frustrated.
NORAD is not subject to the Freedom of Information Act, and they completely 100% deny any existence of UFO records. In fact, in one letter, NORAD tried to tell me they didn't even know what JANAP 146 was. And in JANAP 146, in black and white, says NORAD as the retrieval agency for these UFO reports.
The other thing about JANAP 146 has to do with penalties that you would incur if you were to report this through non-official channels. These penalties were severe. They included imprisonment and I think a $10,000 fine. Mighty big incentive to keep your mouth shut.
It seems clear from a lot of the government discussions of the problem of contact that they wouldn't make this known to the public if it happened. The general attitude of the government about not only about UFOs but many other things is just to play it safe and not tell the public what's going on.
But many outside the government are increasingly certain that to play it safe, we need a detailed plan to deal with the UFO potential. May 30th, 1995, Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada. August 24th, 1990. Greifswald, Germany. July 6th, 1995. Tirana, Albania. Summer 1952. Washington, D.C. With widespread reports of UFO sightings over the nation's capital, the alien invasion scenario became all too real to the U.S. government. What happened next would impact UFO policy for decades.
This included radar observations. This included incursions by multiple phenomenon over the Capitol building, and it definitely raised the concern of the United States Air Force.
It was bedlam for a while there. It was 2 weekends in a row where UFOs were seen over the White House. We know that President Truman was very concerned about this. CIA was absolutely intent on doing something about this problem.
In January 1953, the CIA convened a panel of scientists and military advisors to study the UFO issue, headed by H.P. Robertson of the California Institute of Technology. While the Robertson panel unanimously concluded that UFOs posed no direct threat to national security, the panel did suggest a plan for dealing with them.
The Robertson panel concluded that it was in the best interest of the United States government to suppress media coverage of UFO sightings. And to do that, they recommended a number of standard propaganda methods. They wanted, first of all, to use ridicule to cast the subject into disrepute.
And this was in the context of a training program that they wanted to put out, an educational campaign, which would involve two components, training and debunking. They use the word debunking, and they actually say that the mass media should be employed by the national security apparatus of the United States to control the way the UFO subject was presented.
United States UFO policy would continue to evolve. Evidence of this would be found in a report hidden in top-secret files of the Federal Archives for more than 30 years. Known in the UFO community as the Brookings Report, it was prepared for both NASA and the United States Congress.
The Brookings Institute report dates from the very end of 1960. And this was something that was conducted on behalf of NASA at the very beginning of the space program to discuss the implications of space travel.
It was led by a psychologist, Donald Michael, a team of 6 writers and maybe 60 consultants, including people with good name recognition like Margaret Mead. As you get to the end of the report, there's a page and a half, 2 pages that deal with the possibility of encountering extraterrestrial intelligence. And it addresses many of the issues that concern us today. How will people react? What will it do to the international political system? How will it affect government leadership? Again, very brief, very concise, but very important.
At 11:40 p.m. on Saturday, July 19, 1952, an air traffic controller at Washington National Airport spotted 7 blips in a corner of the radar scope. They were moving at 100 miles per hour and were heading for the Capitol. no aircraft were known to be in the area. Jet interceptors were scrambled to investigate the UFOs, but within moments, the radar blips had disappeared. When the jets landed, the UFOs returned.
Well, 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 Phil Larson of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy. Facts and evidence can be an inconvenient thing, can't they? You say you have no credible evidence of extraterrestrial life on Earth. I say you don't have YouTube and a guy with a soothing, deep voice. Expect a new petition on your desk by day's end. That's Zeitgeist for today.